Silence your phones.
One. Charlie, vamos a empezar contigo aquí. Charlie.
And wait, you tell me I'm live so I know. One of the most common questions I get asked is, how do I go from a client to a watch dealer? How do I get in this business? Well, you guys have probably seen our most viral TikTok video with 3 million views on it. I have here Arnaldo Valido from WatchBucks, and he's going to explain his experience, how he went from our client to actually being a dealer in this industry.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes, sir.
Just double check if you're getting audio. Say
Yes,
live.
we're live. Everybody hear me? Mic test. Leave some comments, guys. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good.
No, but wait. You gotta wait until they respond. Yeah, we're just double checking.
Okay, guys, we're just double checking. We have no issues. Sorry about that. This is our second live, so bear with us. We're here getting this a little bit smoother.
Right here.
Okay. Good to go, everybody. I can hear you. I see that comment. Awesome.
I can hear you. Perfect.
All right, perfect. So, intro again?
Yeah.
Intro for everybody?
Intro again.
Okay, one more time, guys. So, one of the most common questions I get asked is, how do I become a watch dealer? How do I get in this industry? A lot of you guys want to know this question. You guys have probably seen this gentleman that I'm about to introduce to you, Arnaldo Valido. He is on our most viral TikTok video with 3 million views. It's a partnership we did with him. And he actually went from our client to a dealer that we work with on a daily basis. So here I have Arnaldo. Nice to
What's up,
have
guys?
you here on our show with us.
Guys, thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Carlos and Charlie, for having me on the channel. It's a pleasure to be here and discuss this topic with you guys.
So you want to go ahead and start by just giving an intro to who you are and what your company is and the name of your company? Go ahead.
Sure. So I'm Arnaldo, guys, and I have a company here very near CRM. It's here in downtown Miami, and the company's name is WatchBucks. The company's fairly new. It's a company that started about 10, 11 months ago, from a hobby, a dream of mine, and, it evolved into a business. I have a partner as well in the company. His name is Nakam. Makes it a little easier for me to navigate this tough industry, with such little time that I have in it.
So let's start by asking you. We said that you started off as a client. How long have you been collecting watches, and how long has your passion been for watches? You've been doing this for a while?
So I would say it's been around 10 years, but really watches, whether it's high end or it's like lower class watches, cheaper watches, I've loved since I was a kid. I remember walking around always, every single picture you see of me as a kid, I have a little watch on. So it's a passion that I've had for many, many years. I would say I started collecting the higher end watches maybe about 10 years ago.
What'd you start with? Did you start with like most traditional people with Rolex, or?
I've stuck to Rolex.
Okay.
I have a couple APs and I bought a couple Pateks, but yeah, mostly Rolex.
Mostly Rolex. Nice.
Yeah.
And when did you start, like, what we would like to call flipping watches? So not really a dealer, just buying and selling just to make a quick buck.
So I'll tell you. So I'll tell you. So basically, that's an interesting question, because that's a transition that kind of just happened on its own. It's not that I could put a specific date on it, but I would say I started buying maybe intro watches like subs and stuff like that, two-tone subs or steel subs, and then I didn't have the money to get into like other pieces. So what I would do is I would trade up a little bit, for a little higher of a piece, and then ultimately I started making a little more money, and my collection started growing. That I didn't need the need to do that. I didn't have the need to do that, but I don't have a specific time of when that happened.
Of when you started flipping?
I think it happened naturally.
Naturally. Do you remember when you started flipping?
Me?
Yeah. When you sold like your first watch, because I know you've been collecting for a while, Dad. So,
When I first sold my first watch, I wasn't probably even in the business.
You weren't in the business?
Right. No, I
and you
wasn't
made
in
a
the
profit
business.
on it?
Yeah, I made a profit on it. Yeah.
Nice.
To my friends, I used to come here when I was a kid to buy my jewelry and watches here at the Civil Building, and my friends started asking me, "Hey, Carlos, can you find me this watch? Can you get me this other watch?"
Yeah.
And then I started getting watches and making a little commission on it. So
that's how you got into the flipping.
That's how I got into the flipping.
What I'll start with you. What made you decide from going from flipping into let's get into this business. Let's get into the store.
So the first thing I did, I took the advice of people like Carlos and people like Nakam, my partner that have been in the business for a long time, and I said, let me see if I can make a profit first before I jump into this, because I would trade up watches and sell and flip here and there, but I was never trying to do it to make money. So there's a big difference.
Of course.
You know, there's a big difference. Whether you can make money, I could sell something and sell it to upgrade, or sell it, you know, just to sell it, or sell it to make a profit. So about a year and a half ago, I said, you know what? I have the resources. Everybody here knows me in the
You had a business before that you sold.
I had a business, exactly. That's the second part to it.
We'll get into that one.
Yeah. So I said, let me see if I can make $1 with the resources that I had, you know, knowing your dad, knowing Nakam, knowing people like Lenny. I said, let me buy a watch and let me see if I can make a profit. And ultimately, I made a profit.
Right.
You know, I knew through my years of collecting what I should buy and how much I should buy it for, more or less.
Yeah, you had a rough idea.
I had a rough idea, you know. So I remember the first watch I bought was a two-tone blue sub, ceramic.
A bluesy.
Yeah, a bluesy. I said, listen, this is a Miami watch. If I could sell one, to make a profit, it's gonna be this one.
Of course, yeah.
You know?
If you could sell a watch, it's gonna be that for sure.
It's gonna
for
be,
sure.
especially here in South Florida. So I did. I made a couple $100 and made it into the other watch, and I got 4 or 5 watches, and I made money. And I said, I think I could do this.
Something that you said is very important. That you made a couple $100. A lot of people might not know, but what was your nickname when we started? What would people call you?
Carlos 500.
Carlos 500. My dad used
Everything
to say.
was $500.
I used to make $500 in profit, but things changed. Now I got a big overhead. Got a bunch of
course, but
employees.
it sounds to me like
So now I'm
when
trying to
you
make
start-
10% at least. At least if I make 10%, I'm happy.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like when you start that you have to make only 100, 200. So you're investing a lot of money just to make a very small profit. But that's the harsh truth of this business. There's not very high profit margins with these watches. Like you mentioned, we're trying to make 10%. So there's pros and cons on it. Let's get into education, because people ask me about that. I personally, I didn't go to college. I didn't go to any diamond or watch school. I didn't go to watchmaking school. Do you have any past or prior educational experiences that you use for this?
So yeah. So I'm local here in South Florida. Okay, I went to high school here. Then I graduated high school, and I went on to play baseball in college. I graduated college with a BA. I went to Spring Hill College in Mobile, Alabama. Then I went to St. Thomas University. Transferred down here after a couple years, and I got my degrees in political science and history. Then I said, you know, I think I want to further my education. I went to graduate school at FIU. I got a master's in international relations, and I never did anything with my degrees.
Do you feel like your degrees do anything for you in this industry?
That's a good question. And you know what? I asked that question myself. Is the hundreds of thousands of dollars that I spent on school, my parents spent on school, not really me, was it worth it? And I think it helps me. I think it gave me discipline.
So discipline act.
Yeah, I think it gave me discipline to know that, first of all, you start something, you got to finish it. There is nothing left in between. Okay? If you start it, you need to finish it.
That's something you always tell me. Yep.
You have to. That's the way.
Charlie goes 45.
We'll get better.
We're working
Better.
on it.
We'll get better. You know, it's something that it taught me that. It taught me you start something, you finish. It gave me discipline. For example, to have a schedule. People don't understand how important having a schedule is. You know that at this time you got to be there. You got to be there at that time. There ain't no, let me wait a couple hours or no. So it taught me. I had my first class at 8 in the morning. I know at 8 in the morning I had to be there. So now it's kind of shaped who I've been, through business.
So you would say anybody getting any education, it's good for the discipline, at least in this industry. But you don't really have to touch anything specific educational wise. More of the discipline and going to school and putting up with people.
Yeah, I mean, listen, school, as far as like making me money later on in life, it really hasn't really made me any money. After I graduated school, I became a high school teacher. Like there's not, there's,
And
you'll go
what-
broke.
What about past business experience? You guys were saying that you owned a business before. Can
Correct.
you elaborate on that?
So the second reason why I was able to get into this business, I always saw myself selling watches, always, because it was a passion of mine, and I knew I would make it into a business, but the opportunity wasn't there. I was tied up. I had a current business. I was in the restaurant industry, and fortunately, about a year and a half ago, a big hedge fund group came to South Florida, bought the company out, and I was able to sell the company. And I said, "This is the time.
Yeah, now you have
This
a
is
large
it.
chunk of money.
I have some capital, and I have the time, and I
And you love what you do.
and exactly, and that's what I wanted. That's what I saw myself ultimately doing. I knew I was gonna be here someday.
That's all. That's all.
There's a lot of people that work just because they have to work, and there's some people that work because they love their job, you know. And we get lucky enough that we love watches, so we get to see them every day and play with them, buy and sell and trade.
You mentioned capital, just ballpark figure, or not even. We don't even have to talk numbers yet. Do you think you have to have a lot of capital to start in this business, or do you think it is possible to make it with somebody who doesn't have?
It's a good question.
Well, I started with very little capital, and I made it work.
What do you consider very little capital, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, 150,000, 150,000, something like that. You can start with one watch, Look at Natalie started trading his. What was the first watch that Natalie started
G-Shock.
trading? A G-Shock, and she's already at a T-Sod or something, whatever.
Yeah.
But start doing trades and
You work your way up.
school yourself about the watch industry, because at the beginning, I used to buy watches all the time and I didn't know what the hell I was buying. If we would buy a watch, it was missing links, crystal had problems, then the movement had problems. I didn't have like Pincho that started, with a partner that knew about watches. I started on my own, bumping into all these,
Other people, yeah.
onto all these things that I was new about it. So experience, it's what it got me here.
Of course. And in this industry, a mistake can cost you thousands of dollars, whether
Well,
it's a fake watch, a cracked bezel.
It has happened to me many times. So that's why now we go through a whole list of stuff we got to look when we purchase a watch, just to make sure that it's complete with the links. The movement is good, the crystal is good. But
Yeah, that's all
yeah,
very important.
you can make money in the watch industry, but you also could get
Screwed over really quickly.
Yeah.
screwed over very quickly.
Yeah.
Because they make these fakes that are, for an unexperienced
The super clones are very very
unexperienced
deadly.
person, you could buy it and.
And not only the super clones, like we were talking about, if you go to sell a watch and the watch is short 3 links and you end up spending $1,000 when you
That
had
happened to me
$200.
many times at the beginning.
You had $200 of profit margin, but you got to spend $1,000 in links.
If it's an all gold watch, now these links are costing you half of an organ.
Also, too, repairs in the movement.
Something, another very common thing that people have asked me, and I want to see if we can elaborate here and discuss this, is what is the difference between a watch flipper and a watch dealer? That is.
A watch
you wanna start on
flipper
that?
and a watch dealer. I think for me, a watch flipper, is someone that grabs a watch from A and sells it to B. I don't know that
Yeah.
without having stock, maybe.
So stock is what would make you a dealer versus.
I would say that a watch flipper is somebody that does this occasionally.
Occasionally.
I think somebody that's not fully invested into the business
Yeah.
sees an opportunity.
To flip a watch and make a little percentage on it.
Correct.
Yeah, it doesn't have an overhead.
Correct.
Yeah, like us.
My view on a flipper versus a dealer is a flipper is somebody you buy a watch from and you can maybe get it at a better price from a dealer, but they're not somebody who will respond for this watch. It's not I don't think you have to have a brick and mortar store, but I think you have to have a business and, like you said, be fully invested into it. Not necessarily have inventory, because you can sell consignment pieces if people trust you, but I think a dealer has reputation. He has it's reliable. You can go to a location, whether it's his house or he works out of his house.
Yeah,
Or-
somebody said a dealer has a license.
A dealer has a license. They have the proper licenses to do business.
Correct. That's an important point.
And you can be and they can be held accountable for their actions. Not
Of course.
so they sold you a fake watch. They sold you something wrong with the watch. They give you some type of warranty. Like we offer money back guarantee if the watch is not as
Yeah.
described. Things like that.
And to add to that point, Charlie, we saw, it's crazy because since I'm new in the business, a lot of people in the building were kind of, I guess, confusing me for that that flipper, because a lot of it arose from the COVID.
Of course.
The COVID, we
Yeah,
saw flippers everywhere.
COVID created a lot of flippers.
Correct.
Everyone became a watch flipper because everybody wanted a watch. There was a lot of money going around. Everyone that wasn't in the business went to Rolex, got on the list, started getting watches and flipping them.
Correct.
They saw that the watches were selling over retail, and it's an opportunity for me to make money. So if I could get a hold of this watch, and then flip it real quick, and for a couple of $1,000s. But those days are over.
Those days are gone.
They're over.
Those days are gone.
The flippers are gone.
So while it is a very beautiful industry to get into, it does have its ups and downs, and it's not only what you guys see for the last 2 years, that it's everybody just making money. You get a watch, any watch at retail, and you make a couple $1,000s on it. So something you always say to people when you call is make sure you do your homework, right?
Yeah, make sure you do your homework. Who you buying it from?
No, not only that. I was saying when you buy a watch at the AD, when you go to the AD.
Oh yeah, make sure that
Which watch it is.
which watch it is, and what's the current market price on it.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's a very big thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of people getting screwed right now because they're going to the old listings in Chrono 24 and seeing these prices that they're not, accurate or realistic.
Yeah,
So,
they're asking prices that are.
how many watches we have here selling on the retail?
Of course, for example, the white gold Samaritan.
Cookie Monster,
The Cookie
yeah.
Monster. Now, can we talk about? Do you remember your first time walking into CRM here and meeting us?
I don't think it was here at the store, no?
No, it was not
it
at
was
the
my
store.
first store.
It was at his first store, and it was, on the other side of the seaboard.
What watch did you buy? I know you bought a 5980 from me, right?
Yeah, I bought a
Leather strap.
50. Yeah, but the 5980 was already here. I think the first watch I bought from you was a Yatu, all gold Yatu.
Yeah.
Very Miami watch.
Yeah, very Miami watch.
What year was that? Do you remember more or less?
I think
Long
14,
time,
15,
man.
something
yeah,
like that.
that was already towards when we were already making the switch from the big 44s, King Powers, offshores,
Oh my God,
Yamaha
King Powers. We don't gotta get started with those.
Yeah, we make some good money with Hublots before until the brand got
To the brand.
I don't know.
And just the style of watches. Remember back then it was also big Panerais, big Breitlings. It was just larger watches. I think now we're going back to the 39 and 40s.
Correct.
So back to the business. Can we talk about what do you think are 5 contributing factors that play a key role in the success to your business today?
That's it. That's a good question. That's something that everybody should ask themselves when they're starting not only a watch business, but a business as a whole. I feel that the 5 reasons are, and we've touched a little bit on these things as we've gone through the live stream. The first one is knowledge.
Knowledge, okay.
The first one's knowledge. And you know what? Me as a watch dealer, I have 10, 11 months in this industry, and I don't know everything. But if I don't know something, I won't give you the wrong information. I'll go and I'll find it. I'll go find the
Research.
information. I'll research it. I have Knockham, thankfully, 15 years in the business, that's very knowledgeable on just watches as a whole. So I think that's number 1, knowledge.
Knowledge, okay.
I think 2 would have to be honesty. I consider
Honesty.
myself an honest person.
That's the number 1 key in this business, being honest.
Yeah.
To success, yes, you have to, How many watches do we buy from dealers, and how many times do I tell them, do you need a reference? I'm like, Carlos, I know you already, and they send the watch and we do the payment afterwards. So you have
That's
to
a
be,
perfect
you have to,
example.
you have to be a man of your word. When you tell a dealer, I'm going to pay you tomorrow, tomorrow is tomorrow. Don't care what happened, if you got paid or you didn't get it paid.
Yeah.
You got to, do what you said. So your doors will stay open
And-
with different dealers. This is hard in the
Yeah.
business, There's a lot of guys in the business that tell you one thing and it's not the right thing, like I'm buying a watch. You know, if you say the watch is new, it's new. If it's pre-owned, it's pre-owned.
that's very
If it's
important.
never been polished, it's never been polished. But there's a lot of, people that said, for me, new, it's new. It's not like new.
No, like new is it's pre-owned,
Pre-owned,
but
but
it
like
looks
new.
like
It looks
new
like new,
condition. But new is new.
Yeah, how many times have you heard,
I've worn the watch twice.
I only wore the watch twice. I only wore the watch 3 times.
Watch has been to war.
The watch has been to war. And most of the time, I laugh every time they tell me that, because I would say 99% of people that told me that they wore the watch 3 times, it wasn't 3 times. It was
But
more like 3,000 times.
That's more from clients. from dealers, I know for example, when I purchase a watch from a dealer chat, I always ask, is the crystal good? Is the bezel good? Light, minor details, free of dents and dings.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that's very important to be disclosed. And if you're selling just a watch to somebody that you don't know, that they know of you, and it's just through dealer chats, you have to be honest. You have to say, hey, look, I'm selling you this watch, but this is wrong with it, or disclose something on the watch and be transparent. Oh, that's very. So we have knowledge, we have honesty. What's next?
The third one is, to me, so important because it sets me aside from a lot of people, and it sets CRM aside from a lot of people. Customer service.
Customer service. That's very important.
I'm gonna say I try to have in every business that I've done. I have this saying: a customer will come back because of price. Meaning, if your price is too high, that customer will come back at some point. A customer will never come back if you give them
Bad
that customer.
experience, yeah.
That's very true.
You're getting a bad experience, yes.
Yeah.
That is very true.
So
Wow,
that's
I got goosebumps with that one. That is
No.
very true.
a customer could come back. You could tell them, hey, listen, I don't. This is 20 grand, and I don't agree with it. Because I think it's too expensive. That customer will come back at some point if you gave them a good customer
I
experience.
definitely agree with it. There's times that a client's getting a better price from a Facebook group or from a different dealer, and I tell them, hey, look, honestly, I think it's a good price. I can't beat it. They say, Charlie, what's the best you can do? Hey, it's going to be $2,000 more. I don't care. I'll buy it from you. Just because you sat down, you taught me, you did this. And I'm like, really? They buy it?
Yeah.
And it's really true. They will come back because of that.
They trust you because they know if something happens with the watch, we will refund. We hear.
Of course.
You're buying a watch
Yeah,
from
of course.
someone that you're guaranteed. So
Yeah.
that's a big peace of
Checklist.
mind.
Knowledge, honest, customer service. Got 2 more.
Number 4
Number 4.
goes with honesty, and it's authenticity. If I tell you this shirt is black, it's black. It's not white. It's not blue.
You got to be very accurate when describing a watch.
Correct. If I advertise something as this, it's this. It's not that.
Of course.
I feel that should be definitely into the
Definitely.
business.
That's what you were saying of, I've worn the watch twice, and new is new, pre-owned is pre-owned.
Correct.
It's very true. Very
Correct.
That's why when we sold a watch, hardly ever we get a return.
True. Yes. You do have your cases when you're dealing with the public and you're dealing with retail clients. You'll always have something happen. But like you said, it's very, very rare. And that's why we stress our reviews so much.
No, and then we give the customer opportunity of refund them 100%. I'd rather refund you the money than get a bad review.
Yeah, it's
Right.
It's possible. Very, very rare instance something happens. But for example, maybe I've described the watch as pre-owned, like new to a client, and in the handling or something here, it got a very light scuff on it. They see it, they weren't happy with
Which
it.
could happen.
It's something that happened. And they can say, hey, send it back. We can fix it for you. I'll refund you. I'll get you another one. Let me know what you want to do to make you happy. And from there, you rarely have an issue. What is your 5th one?
The 5th one.
This is best for last.
This is the best for last. Passion. I'm passionate. I love what I do.
That's very important.
I love what I do. I enjoy coming in. I enjoy talking to customers. I enjoy giving the knowledge. I think you guys have shaped CRM with a model that I love. You don't have to buy anything from me. Come on in.
That's what I tell people all the time.
Come on in.
I invite a lot of people that not ready to purchase a watch yet, but you never know what's going to happen in the future. I wasn't born with money. So you're given the opportunity to see a watch, and that's what a lot of customers come and like, oh, you're so nice. You let me try the watches, even though that I'm not ready to purchase a watch, A lot of people are not ready now, but you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So
Correct.
treat everybody the same. Don't matter, if they have money or they do have money. Just treat everybody the same. Me, sometimes, I always say that, with the celebrities, I treat them exactly the same. I don't care if you're a celebrity. I don't care if you're a waiter. I don't care who you are. You treat everybody the same.
Most important, something that I've seen. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Something that
point.
I've noticed from watching him is he shows more gratitude and respect to the person who has nothing and came here and say, hey, look, I don't have the money to buy nothing, but I respect you and I value you. He shows more respect to that person than the person that's like, look at me, who am I, like trying to be that person, you know what I mean? And that's a very important thing with going back into the passion. I tell people my passion for watches wasn't something always there. I've always liked intriguing and old things.
Yeah.
Vintage cars,
Yeah.
whatever. That's always been cool to me. My passion though has always been helping and teaching people. And I learned that in excuse me. Sorry guys. I learned that in the martial arts school. So just helping different kids and going through their journeys and all that. And it's, you would say, how does martial arts or anything compare to the watch industry? Well, when a Rolex is not a luxury item just to say, hey, look at me, I got a Rolex on. It's a milestone, and it's a trophy for your achievements in life is how I see it. So the fact that I'm able to help somebody and guide them and teach them about their trophy that they're going to purchase for themselves, for their milestone, that's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate
What an
about
excellent point, man.
the education, the life that we give people for people who want to be in this, because I can easily say, no, I don't want to give you the secrets of CRM. I can say I don't want to show other people in the business, but that's not the person I am.
There's room for everybody.
There's
Remember
room.
I told you that when you started?
There's
room
He's
for
always
everybody.
told me that.
Uh-huh.
It's always stuck to me.
of course.
Yeah, there's room
One
for
of the
everybody.
few people that has told me that in the business. This business is cutthroat.
This business is
Cutthroat.
very cutthroat. This business is not for the
Sorry to
kind of
interrupt you guys. I'm going some other questions. I'm not fat, guys. It's just my shirt. All right.
I'm fat.
With the questions.
Yeah.
You want to start taking questions? I could read some of them.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, guys, we're gonna start getting into questions.
By the way, he was going to show some watches. So you have this battery for the Sony, which is out of battery.
Oh yeah, I have some pieces here that I.
Brief moment. Commercial break. Can we put some
Audio is bad for Charlie.
Yeah, a couple people have commented on the lights, so we're improving this as we go.
Bear with us, guys. This is our second live. If you guys have any comments, criticism, concerns, please let us know. Please comment here. Tell us so we can fix it for you guys and give you guys better quality content.
Let me read that.
Put it down here.
Yeah, it's fine.
You want to do a test run?
You want me to? You want to take questions first? You want
Is
to
it
show
working?
The watches first. The what? Yeah.
So let's do 2-3 questions, show watch, 2-3 questions, show
Let me
watch.
go ahead and give you the first question
We'll,
that actually came.
we'll go from there. You want some water real quick so I could tell him?
That's fine.
Yeah?
All right, listen.
Okay.
Focus, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
All right. Jamie, this comes from Jamie Opulence. What does the CRM stand for?
Carlos Rafael Marcelin. Our initials from my dad, mine's Charlie.
Yep. Grandfather's generational
Yeah.
name. So CRM will stick. And I am the last CRM at the current moment.
Somebody said something really funny. William Rizzo. I'm fat, but I identify as skinny. I'm trans slender.
Okay, this one comes from Lux Report. This is actually another YouTuber. He's a great friend and follower. He has a couple questions. They're very good. I'll go with the first one. How can someone build trust as a new company within the watch world? Many backpacker dealers making it hard to trust new businesses.
That is totally truth. When I started in the business here and I started going to different dealers, Abdul was one of them that people told me, you know what, then he's never going to give you nothing, a memo. And I started little by little getting their approval, and and they started giving me watches.
I
So
think it's the same way you're getting trust in anything.
you
in
get to
life.
trust anything little by little, man. You just have to be a man of your word. When you take a watch, you say you're gonna bring it back at that time, bring it back, and
And before they even give you that watch, for example, let's say when you're a client, if you tell the guy, hey, I'm gonna leave you a deposit on Tuesday and I'll pay you off on Friday. As a client, make sure you pay it off on Friday. And then that goes building more and more trust until they say, you know what, I feel like I can trust you with X amount of money without you paying me first.
Yeah, well,
That's what you did, right?
yeah, it's very hard to start trusting anybody, and because previous experience that we had, I had my bad times, like giving a watch a memo and a dealer not paying me for the watch. So yeah, trust is a big,
It's very hard to build
it's a
it.
big issue.
Very big. I think for me, that's one of the biggest cheat sheets that I've had. That Knock'em, my partner, has been in the industry for such a long
long
time.
day, yeah.
So they associate me with, it was very easy. It's been very easy for me,
very
that
easy,
part.
Another thing that
For me, it wasn't.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't because I didn't have a partner, and
Right.
to gain everybody's trust, it took me a long time. At the beginning, they would look at me and they're kind of like laugh, like, look at this kid, taking pictures behind cars and with the watches, and
who is this guy?
Who is this guy? I used my friends' all cars to take pictures, and people were claiming that I was bragging that I was all my cars. I used them for marketing. I never claimed that they were my cars or nothing like that, but it worked. People started coming. People started following the page, and then here we are 10 years after. People that told me that I was never going to be able to sell through Instagram. Guess what? We sold everything through Instagram,
Yeah.
my outing. And people know
amazing.
who we are just because YouTube, Instagram, and the social media.
And I think another thing for building trust is those 5 key elements that Arnaldo was saying. You have to show authenticity. People trust me in this business because they see how like heavy involved I am when I inspect a watch. When I look at your watch, I'm not telling you, yeah, it's real or it's fake. I'm telling you, hey, look, you have a tiny scratch here. Your hands look, they've been removed. It looks like this was over polished. This is wrong here. It's not just, hey, it's real or fake. So when you show somebody, hey, you have this level of knowledge, people talk good about you. And another thing is you can also have, like, if you have your own nice watch, somebody knows, okay, they have X amount of worth. You know what I mean? It's not just somebody who walks in here
I think
with monetary.
I think that's a great point, because aside from me having my partner, like, I've come here, you guys see me purchase. It's not just some random
Right,
person,
right.
I've purchased, many watches here in the Siebel building. So at least for me, that was an entry point,
Of course.
kind of,
I think for beginners, it's going to be kind of hard.
It
is
is.
very hard.
It's very hard to come in here and
It's cutthroat. It's like you were saying, it's cutthroat. Next question.
Yeah, let's take this one and then you
Show watch,
Show
yeah.
some of the watches, okay? So this one also comes from Lux Report. Do you see people moving away from hype pieces due to the safety and risks of being in public with such a well-known watch? Are people buying more less known brands to the masses?
I don't think they're buying less known brand, but they're buying less expensive watches. Is that said right?
Yeah, more affordable watches.
More affordable watches. Yeah, I think the high-end pieces right now. Well, we lost a couple of $100,000, and if you want to talk about it, it's probably millions. But the high-end pieces for me, I feel like they're kind of stuck.
They're kind of stuck.
And
But
then that was what we were known for, selling watches that are over $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, and that watch right now, that bracket of watches right now, how the economy is, has
but that's
taken
from more of an economical standpoint. If they're asking from that, or
Security.
but security.
Yeah,
Right?
from a security.
I don't see. I think that people who like Rolexes are gonna stick with Rolexes. I think that the people who do switch to independent brands are people who are just tired of seeing the same things all the time. For example, me. Yeah, I like rose gold. I like yellow gold, but I've been wearing more steel just because it's very low key. I've been wearing like that black PVD sub on a leather strap. It's different. It's weird. Leather strap watches just very.
But you can't compare yourself to everybody else
Correct.
because
No.
you have all the watches in. You
That's
have
what I'm
wear
saying.
everything.
Correct.
But for a person that doesn't have
That's
the
what I'm
collection
saying.
that you have here at the store,
I think they're gonna stick to
different.
more of the traditional Rolex AP.
I'll tell you this. I don't think expensive watches, the flashiness is going anywhere. I think that's always going to exist.
Yeah, it's always
I
gonna
think
exist.
people are always going to buy a day 2 because that band sticks out and that yellow gold or rose gold is going to pop.
For me, watch is a status, a symbol.
Correct.
Of course,
And that's never going to go away.
Who needs a watch?
You don't need a watch.
I do. I do.
To tell a time, you don't need a watch. For, like you said, the status symbol, it is.
Well,
and it's,
when
and
you
it
used to
shows
wear a
your
watch, it's like having a nice car. You know, if you ever like cars, you know, have a watch, you know, it's the same thing, same feeling.
That's exactly
For me,
it.
it is, you
Watches
know.
are very much like cars because you can have a cheap, cool looking car and you can have an affordable looking watch. You know what I mean? That's under. Let's say you have a cool car that's $10,000-$20,000 car. A Ferrari owner can still
It'll get
look
you
at
a
your
seat in a
car.
restaurant faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true.
That's definitely true.
That's
Get you
very
a seat
true.
in a restaurant
But
very
a
fast.
Ferrari owner will look at somebody that has a cool, more affordable car and be like, "Hey, that's cool." They're not gonna bash him for it.
Right.
It's not same thing in the watch industry. You can see somebody with an AP, somebody with a Rolex, somebody with a very cool Casio, and you can be like, "Hey, I like your watch." It's not, "I'm better than you because I got this."
But you know something, Charlie, about that?
What?
I think that comes with knowledge. I think the more you're into, and it doesn't have to be a dealer, but like for example, my idea of a nice, cool watch has changed completely.
Of course, yeah, big time.
Completely changed. You know, and I think that not only after I became a dealer, but after I started collecting more and more and more and more. Like I thought the coolest watch in the world was a 44 millimeter yellow gold Yacht 2.
Yeah.
I thought that was. Now I look at it and I'm like,
So let's
you know,
talk
it's
about.
not my favorite. It really
Since
is not
I
my
like
favorite.
I like weird funky pieces, and you killed me with what you got on. And
Yeah, this is a
this
cool piece.
more now towards your style here?
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm wearing this 41 stainless Royal Oak. I like this. You can't go wrong with a Royal Oak. It's classy. But what you have on your wrist, that's definitely 110% my style.
So I would have never worn this. I would have never worn this.
Take it off
so-
real quick so we can put it on here on the camera.
So yeah.
That's why I decided to bring my G-Shock, you know, to be able to stand with you guys.
Yeah. That's a nice G-Shock.
See there? Does it look good? Yeah. Do I have to adjust the zoom?
You gotta look closer, I think, if you want. No, you're out of focus there.
Am I good?
Didn't you guys have it in autofocus?
What's the new Rolex teaser? Teaser?
Teaser? Like what's coming out with Rolex? Well, we'll talk about something.
Yeah, that's out of focus.
Oh.
Go ahead and...
Oh, the new releases are coming out soon, right? A couple days.
Do I? Other way?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to put this.
So when will we see Dan driving a Bugatti? Never. Dan is not into cars or driving.
Yeah, no, forget about this.
Let me see it on the camera.
Yeah, just you can't get that. You cannot get that close, Charlie, or else it won't focus.
Okay.
Yeah, right there is fine.
I can't see it.
Yeah, it's just that we'll have to move this over here.
Okay, so is it fine there on the camera? Can you guys see it good? Good to go?
Yeah.
So let's explain what this is. This is an AP Royal Oak, appears to be a 39 millimeter. Do you want to talk about what edition this is?
So this is one of 300 pieces, guys. It's a Royal Oak 39, you know, with titanium, made out of titanium. The watch is one of 300 pieces. And the watch was, it's early 2000s, something like that. The watch was made by AP to commemorate a very emblematic sailing race in Australia, okay? So, you know, as you can see, the dial of the watch is kind of like the sharp purplish, bluish color to commemorate the ocean, yeah. And then it's got some yellow stick markers, you know, with the hour and seconds hand.
Let's compare
Yellow.
the 39 to a 41. Are they both on frame there?
Yes.
They're both on frame there?
Yeah.
You guys can see a size difference between the 39 and a 41. Beautiful there. Okay. Here you go.
All right.
Let's show some watches. What watches did you bring for us?
I didn't bring anything crazy, but I kind of wanted to bring two watches so you guys kind of see a little bit how styles have evolved. And I brought three watches. So one of them, it's nothing special or anything, but I just have a funny story about it, so I wanted to talk about it.
Bring it.
So
Bring it
it's this 36 date just. Okay, if you want to take it out of the.
36 H's. This looks like a new reference.
It's a new reference.
126233.
Correct.
Do I see it? Everything good there?
It's nothing special. It's nothing crazy. But, so the story behind this watch,
Very
I
careful.
purchased this watch a year and a half ago for the store. It was my original inventory. I bought it like maybe January. I started ramping up and buying inventory. I opened up in April of last year, and I bought this in January.
And you
And
still
I
have it.
still can't sell the watch. The watch does not want to leave my store.
So we had a watch here that I finally got rid of. It had almost a year and a half, something like that, Dan.
Almost a year.
Almost a year, something like that. It was
And
a
you know,
rose
it
gold
wasn't
daily.
a bad watch. It was a good watch. It was a 228, 235 for 40 millimeter Prezi rose gold with a white dial.
And it wasn't at a bad price.
That's crazy, and that's
And we
my
sold it for
favorite combination.
38,000, which is under retail. If you go buy it at the dealer, probably 37 plus
Under
taxes.
cost, under retail.
And it was just sitting here for a whole year.
And we said, screw that.
So let's try to.
So if you guys
That's
want Arnaldo's first watch, we can do something here.
Yeah,
A CRM partnership.
that watch just doesn't want to go anywhere.
If you want,
Let me
we'll
see it.
consign it here. We'll sell it. You know, at CRM, you put anything for sale, and we'll
Yeah,
sell
it's
it
a
quick.
nice watch. How much you have into it?
Oh, old price like 11K.
Yeah, not bad.
It's a nice, it's new reference. You know, it doesn't have an ugly dial,
That's great.
but the watch just doesn't want to.
That's something part of the
So you
watch
haven't-
business.
You don't want to lose on it.
No, I don't mind losing on it. At this point,
7,000 right now.
Live negotiation.
Yeah, why don't you guys do some live
It's a
negotiation?
negotiation. That's
Sell that to Carlos. Go ahead.
yeah, no.
I would lose on it. I'll tell you what I take.
This is between dealers, guys. Don't get crazy in the comments now and try to buy this watch
Yeah,
at that
right.
price.
I would take.
I bet you will. I can't wait to see that number.
13,500.
No. I take 10K,
Take it. Okay.
more or less. Chap price.
No,
You're not a buyer.
Pass.
I pass.
We're gonna pass on that off.
Jubilee.
Maybe 8,500.
I'd rather fulfill an order and call you when someone is ready. Not really interested in keep stocking more watches right now. So consignment. We're doing a lot of consignment. There's a lot of watch brands that we're not selling at the store that we don't buy that before we didn't deal with. But now, you know, I'm willing to take these brands into the store on consignment
Well,
for a 5% fee.
We have Louis Monet, never even heard of. Arnold and Son, never even heard of.
Nice.
We have what else we have in the front? We have Bulgari, the ultra thin.
Ultra thin.
We've taken in some Omegas recently, some Tudors recently. So yeah, guys, whatever you guys have, if the price makes sense, because remember, it has to make sense for you guys, it has to make sense for us that we're putting our name, our brand, our
Your
warranty,
time.
everything, our time
Yeah,
behind it.
we have to
our
inspect the
following.
watch, make sure it is in top shape. We give the customers warranty also.
And it has to make sense for the person buying the watch. So I take care of my clients on both ends, the buying and the selling. So the price has to make sense. If you guys want, we'll consign it, bring them by. That goes for you too. You know, we got a large following. Dan, how's been our reach on Instagram lately? What's our reach?
It has gone down. I was checking yesterday.
It has gone down.
You know, we had like 5 million
Yeah,
on
compared to
Instagram.
maybe like the last month and a half, but it's still pretty high historically. I mean, we're still getting a lot of reach on the reels. Every once in a while, the reel gets more than 1 million views, just like on TikTok.
So getting more than 1 million views on a TikTok, that means 1 million people are seeing the watch we were talking about, the
Huge.
watch we were posting. It's a very big reach, guys. I'm pretty sure that's better than you guys posting on your offer up and risk. Bring on some other watches.
All right, so these two, I'm going to just bring them out together just because I kind of wanted to show how my taste has changed a little bit.
Okay.
You know, as the times, I used to like really, really big pieces, and now I don't really like big pieces. So this is a watch I bought a very long time ago. Okay. It is a yellow gold.
Bronze
Day
wave.
two.
Black wave.
Black
It's
wave.
yellow gold. Bronze wave is the rose.
So you'll see the difference, you know. It's a 41. Okay.
I know how much you want, and I know how much it's worth. You want 40,000 for it.
And what is it worth?
35.
You're on the money. I must agree.
I must agree. These days. How much you asking?
No, that's not for sale.
Oh, no, for sure. Okay, cool.
No.
Let me see it.
This is a cool piece. I love this style. I think one of my favorite the
You
whole
know what I would
Wave
do?
series.
You know
of
what I
bells.
would do to it?
What?
Cut the bezel.
Recut the bezel.
Yeah, recut the bezel. You know, when the bezel gets
Let me show them that on the camera.
a little over polished, you
Yeah.
cut it and it will make it look brand new.
So let's compare here.
Or you
So
can
you'll
buy
see the
one that I already have there for $1,000. Sold? No,
No, not this one.
not this one.
This is
Let's do a comparison here of a bezel, what a bezel recut would look like. So we're talking about it here.
yeah.
These are things you also have to know in the industry. These are very important things you have to know in the industry.
Especially when I go watch if it's over polished and
So this watch isn't over polished. This watch, the links are good. The bezel, the lugs are good. Everything is good on this watch. Just the bezel is a little bit dull, and that happens on these watches.
all that watches was discontinued almost 10 years ago.
This watch is almost 10 years old.
I think that one is 10 years old.
So the card is down there. Put it there. What year is this? A 2012.
Yeah.
So this watch is a 2012. This is a 11-year-old watch. Look at the amazing condition for the age. But this is what a bezel recut does, and it makes the bezel look like this. Any more questions, Dan?
Yeah.
Let's go on a rapid fire of some questions.
Did you
Just
go
answer
over all
quick.
the watches already?
Yeah, we went over all the
Okay,
watches.
so let me go ahead and shoot this question at you. I had it actually here. One second. Okay, question for Carlos about growth. I'm mainly wholesale and have a few good retail customers and a small office for 3 years. At what stage, looking back, is it a good time to go into a shop, like to go from wholesale to retail?
You went straight
Open a
into
store.
you went straight into a shop.
Yeah, I went straight into a store. Yeah.
We never did wholesale.
Yeah, I think
I
that
went-
probably wholesale is even more challenging.
Well, you know, well, I don't agree with you with that. Because wholesale,
You don't
when
need
you
as
sell
many
wholesale,
licenses.
you don't need to deal with the customers. You don't need to sell charging taxes because
You
it's
don't-
between dealers. Okay,
It's a lot less paperwork.
a lot less paperwork.
To purchase a watch, you don't have to do all the paperwork from a dealer. You don't have to pay the taxes when you're buying and selling from dealers. You don't have to have the local business taxes, the security, the licenses.
I tell you what, going into a shop requires a lot of money and overhead. You know,
That's
we
the
have a
issue.
lot of overhead, and that is the issue. You know, I like the shop. People want to see, a store. They want to come, but you can make some money too selling wholesale at an office. You know what I
That means
mean?
that you're gonna have to flip or turn over the watches even faster because now with
You
the
need more
market
quantity.
Risk, now with the market risk, lower margin, you gotta be quick.
Correct.
quicker.
You need
Correct.
more quantity, faster turnaround time, and a lot smaller profit margins.
Correct.
And don't hire family members. Don't hire family members because you know what? You can't fire them.
Question: is Natalie single? She's gorgeous but looks dangerous. Please tell her to smile more.
Nati, come into the office. Come onto the scene.
Well,
Go into Betty's office.
Nati's always mad.
Natalie, come inside. Go around.
Wait, let me answer this one. I like this one. What do you think about Richard Mille? What do you think what happened to Frank Mueller? What happened to RM2? No. If you think about it, Frank Mueller makes affordable watches. I don't know of any Richard Mille that's under $80,000.
And Frank,
Scoot over a little bit, then.
Move over a little bit closer.
Hop in.
Natalie, please don't knock anything over.
ya da arriba, Nati, ¿eh?
Nati has a.
No vale.
No, we're not live. We're just practicing for tomorrow's live. Oh, sit-
Turn
sit
around.
down.
The camera's pointing right at.
You,
There's Nati. Why are you always angry, Natalie?
Why am I always angry?
You gotta speak up because of the.
If you guys had to deal with what I deal with on a daily basis, you would understand.
but she's always smiling, okay? When she
Here,
says
Natalie.
this thing.
Please explain.
There you go. Say it again, Natalie. Yeah.
Natalie, I want to know the answer
What's the answer?
to why you always like.
Wait, let me unwrap it one more
Mad.
time.
See if that fits in your
Maybe
mouth.
a little bit more slack.
I think I answered that already.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If you had to deal with what I deal with every day in this Marcelin family, you would
See if it fits in
understand.
your mouth.
And the sad part is HR is another Marcelin, so what am I supposed to do?
Actually, Alvarez.
Oh, yeah. Well, might as well be Marcelin.
He is already. He's been there.
Can I go now?
You can leave now.
You're excused.
to start rapping. No, Charlie doesn't rap.
Alright, I got another question here for you from earlier. Is it true that some ADs actually prefer to work with dealers than their own regular customers because they can move more pieces faster and easier?
I've never bought a watch from an AD.
Never bought a watch from AD. The minute I walk into an AD, they know who we are. So I have never bought a watch an AD. Before, back in the days, I used to know the watch retail prices by heart because watches used to be sold under retail. So since I don't deal with ADs, I don't even know the retails anymore. So, you know.
So if they prefer, maybe with some dealers, but not with us. I've never bought a watch at retail.
I don't think that ADs will sell straight to dealers. I don't think they're allowed to do that.
I don't know if they're allowed.
I don't know if it's a misconception. Maybe some of them do have a relationship with these dealers, but that's a comment that we get a lot. People assume that we do have a hookup, some backdoor deals with the ADs. They assume that's the case, and that's why our profit margins are 20, 30, 40% on a watch, which is ridiculous.
Our backdoor are the flippers.
Yes.
The people that got on the list can't afford the watch, and now they're trying to sell it and flip them.
That's our backdoor. Is
You know, it's crazy because I used to think the same thing before I got into the watch game. I thought these guys are getting these watches from authorized dealers from the Czech Republic, and they're making massive amounts.
Yeah.
That's not true, guys.
now that you went from client to dealer,
It's not true.
it's BS. What's another one?
You already covered all the watches, right? Just a couple
Yeah,
more questions.
yeah, just a couple
let's
more
take
questions and
couple
wrap
more
it up.
questions, and then we'll call it a day. I really like how you guys go about your business model. I see others buying and selling, usually extremely high. This might be tricky, but what is a fair percentage discount to ask for when negotiating a price?
Depends what you're into in the watch.
Well,
Yeah, that all depends. That exactly what Carlos said. You know, sometimes we bought watches at a better price than other watches, and we have a little bit of more room.
Yeah, depends how much you need that money to work with something else. Sometimes, you want to flip a watch, make a little profit on it because you want to buy another watch that you want to make a bigger profit. And you need that money to free up, just like we selling watches at a loss.
at least me with clients, I don't give them a high price to go down in price.
Yeah,
the most I've ever gone down, and I always ask you for permission, is $500, maybe $1,000.
Yeah, the problem is that we work a little different than most of all the dealers. We work different than the most dealers. We give the first price, and that's it. Me personally, I don't like to negotiate. I like to give the last price from the get-go. There's a lot of dealers that will give you a very high on your trading, and they'll add it up into the piece they're selling to you. But that, for us, we sell you a watch, and then we buy also back, mostly all the time. When you do that, then you get screwed because you're adding this money to the watch you buying for trade. So it's kind of tricky. So let's say
It's too much math to keep
too
up
much,
with.
yeah.
The thing is that as a client, I'll give you a sixth reason of why I think I'll be successful. And it just came into my head. I tell Malcolm all the time, I said, you know what advantage I have? That I've been on both sides of the counter.
That's very true.
I know when I used to buy, I come here and you tell me, I'm selling this watch for $20,000. And ultimately, I bring you down to 15,000. I bring you down 5K.
How much
What
money?
does that tell me?
How
Hey,
much?
bro, what's up with this guy?
How much
bro?
money? How much money you making on this watch? For
Right.
real?
It just makes me weary. I do the same thing in the store. If I come down,
That is the
I'll
problem.
come down $500.
That is the problem lately. That's why I can't sell you a watch because you've been in both sides of the counter.
That's what it is.
He knows both sides.
The both sides.
Yeah, you've been
I
in
got-
both
I got-
sides.
I
So
got
now it's
the-
very
I got
tough
the-
to sell them a watch.
I got
a
the
lot
TT.
of the
I bought a watch
negotiations.
from you the other day.
Oh yeah, you did.
It's
Yeah,
true.
You did. You buy a watch every now and
What,
then.
what is it?
Batman.
A Batman.
On one Batman.
That's right.
Yeah, I sold that to you. With
70,000 on that Pavé right now. 70K on that Pavé right now.
No.
87 retail plus tax. Come on.
87.3.
87.
He wants to catch me on the live.
70,000.
He wants to put me on the spot.
70,000. You're willing to pay 80. 70,000 right now. 2023. 228 345 TBR or
You don't,
RBR.
you don't have a used one.
I could wear it to scratch it a little bit. I'm selling it to you for a price of a used one. 70K. Brand new.
That is only 17,300 below MSRP.
70,000.
What is it, 78,000?
87,300 plus
87,000.
taxes.
What type of
But
math
if you
am I
go on the
doing?
Rolex website, it says call for availability.
I'm not gonna lie, it's tempting.
It's a very good price. Do you want to see
And,
it?
so hard.
and by the way,
We'll bring it
guys,
out. We'll
just so
bring it-
you know, this is not sketched up right here.
So 70,000.
No,
You should have.
I don't know.
Oh, all right.
You should have
gotta
went
do
in.
some
I
homework.
know. You know what? Because the thing is that Carlos,
He's very charismatic.
He uses these things, so he might be giving it to me under cost just to try me, just to see
Yeah.
what.
But it's hard.
So
It's
I
hard
don't know.
for-
I don't know how to.
70.
So look at the
$70,000.
poker face. Stare him deeply in the eyes. That's
70,000.
Why does it seem to me like it's a very good deal?
It is.
Are you kidding me? It's 87 plus taxes. You want to make a phone call to your boss?
He does
Let me
the
ask
same
you a
thing.
question. Are you the decision maker in your household?
Oof. Brittany, I hope you're not watching.
Yes, he is. In public, yeah. We all are in public.
Right? Damn, 70,000. No, let's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Should we
come
bring it
out
out?
to
Should we
that.
bring it out here on the live?
Nah,
So
you're
you can
good.
see
You're
it.
good. We good?
Any other questions?
All right, let's take the last one. The last one. Do you think in the near future, watches will have a tech-like GPS or something like that to prevent theft?
There's watch brands that have that. I don't see that on a automatic mechanical movement on a watch. How are you gonna do that? That's more for.
Like a load jack on a car? And beep beep. My watch is here. I don't think so. I think watches are just traditional art pieces, and they're not gonna involve too many modern technology or batteries.
Maybe
anything.
in the battery watches and the G-Shocks and on those Apple watches, maybe something like that. They'll probably have a tracking device.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever be meant to put a
Anti-theft?
tracking device.
Anti-theft. Wear it in your house. Wear it in your living room. Keep it in the bank vault.
Yeah. Correct. Keep it in the bank, guys.
Keep it in the bank. Stash it in the shoe.
You know.
Let's see. One of the one that is a week ago. He bought many pieces. The AD. He has a big YouTube channel. I won't say his Russian name. That is Sam. That is a very possible. That is a very possible situation. But like I said, we not us. We don't buy from ADs.
Yeah, we don't buy from AD, so.
Everybody good? No other questions related to the
No,
business?
there's a good one up there. There's a good question. When is it worth to go below 10% margin when selling? That's a good question.
You
When
kind of
is it
touched on
worth
that.
to go below the
10%.
10% margin when selling? I mean, losing 10%?
No.
No, like
less than 10%.
making less
When
than
is it okay to
10%.
make less than 10% on a watch?
I have a reason one.
Well,
When the piece is not too popular,
And when
that
they-
it's hard to sell.
right?
or like
I
he
think-
said, if you're just gonna get rid of this one and you're gonna maybe make a better money
Correct.
trade in.
Correct.
Maybe it's a very expensive piece. It's a $500,000 watch. You don't need to make 50 grand. on it.
Correct.
You can make less than that.
Correct.
That's us on a daily basis.
Yes. Maybe we're losing on the
So
watch.
thank you guys. Let's wrap this up. Thank you for watching.
Guys, thank you, man. Thank you.
And
That's
stay
it.
tuned for the next live.
Send us live stream ideas. We want to do these. Okay, yeah. Guys, please send us live stream ideas. We want to do this weekly. This is our second live we've done with a dealer. We want to do multiple lives just to get you guys into the lives of what we do. If you guys have any topics that you want us to talk about, whether, for example, whether it was jewelry or getting into this watch business or any ideas for a live, please let us know in the comments. Thank you guys for your support, and be sure to follow our YouTube channel and WatchBucks YouTube channel if you guys like the content. Thank you so much, and have a good one.
And if you want to put some watches on consignment, don't forget CRM Jewelers will sell your watch without you investing any money. 5% fee.
There you go. And
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
appreciate having you here.
Thank you, guys.
It's a wrap.
Good shit.